Hi, I'm Bernie Flynn. At New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Company, we believe that all citizens need to be informed about the important issues that affect their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, New Jersey Resources, the North Ward Center, NJM, Auto Insurance, Homeowners Insurance, and more, with a focus on safety and financial stability, and by ShopRite Supermarkets. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. And by bestofnj.com, covering all New Jersey has to offer.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No. People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
Who are the best 50 women in business? Well, NJBIZ selected them behind us. I'm Steve Adubato, and I'll tell you what, NJBIZ is one of the top business publications in the state and the nation, and they selected these best 50 women in business, and we got to talk to some of those women tonight. They come from all walks of professional life. They're in the nonprofit world, the healthcare world, education, commerce, and they're fascinating women. They've accomplished all kinds of things. They've overcome a whole range of obstacles, and you're about to meet the most fascinating, the best women in business in the state of New Jersey. And this is a half an hour of television you don't want to miss. I'll tell you what, every once in a while you run into two of the most powerful people in the state. We have Tom Curtin, who is the publisher of NJBIZ, the folks who put tonight together, and Christine Stearns, Director of Government Affairs Department at Gibbons. Let's talk about this. When you got word that you were selected as one of the 50 leaders, women leaders in the state, from this publication, which is the premier business publication around, what did it say to you?
I was really humbled and surprised. It was completely unexpected for me. I really appreciate what NJBIZ does for the business community, for women in business. It's a great honor.
How challenging is it, because you've been doing this for many years, to select these women?
This is our 11th year. We get more and more nominations for this event than all of our other events. To come up with just the 50 people, it's almost impossible, because they're all just as qualified as the next person. So it's really a hard job. Really.
Now I put you on the spot. Advice to women in positions where they are going to be expected to be leaders, some of the keys to being a successful woman in a leadership position.
I always think it's about asking for advice. Ask people for advice along the way. You don't always have to take the advice, but women particularly will help other women and help guide them, and that is sort of the best. Solicit that feedback.
It's interesting. Women getting mentors keeps coming up a lot. That doesn't necessarily have to be a woman.
It does not have to always be a woman. I think that you often see women who have other women as their mentors. I always say that I had, a dozen fairy godmothers who helped me out along the way. But you certainly can ask men, ask women for their advice.
Biggest leadership lesson you've learned so far is?
Listen to the advice, I think.
Once you get it, and Tom, let me put you on the spot. Number one leadership lesson for men or women is?
Listening. I think women do a lot better job of it than men. And I get to read all the bios, and all listening comes out for all of them.
I'll tell you, you come to the NJBIZ event, the 50 best women in the state, you run into the Lieutenant Governor, Kim Guadagno. And by the way, could you introduce the young lady on your left, who I know is being recognized tonight?
She is. First of all, Steve, thanks for...
Take my microphone.
I was going to take your microphone. It's okay. If you want me to interview Michele Brown, Michele Brown, how long have I known you?
Since 1991.
And she came and worked for the governor at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and after that was the governor's authorities guru. And now you are doing what?
I'm CEO of Choose New Jersey, part of the state's business advocacy group.
And what does Choose New Jersey do?
I have nothing to do here. You can see that.
Choose, along with the Lieutenant Governor's staff and the state's Economic Development Authority.
There you go.
are all involved in business retention and activity and attraction activities in the state.
Lieutenant Governor, do you mind if I ask her a question? You can hold on.
No, I don't mind at all.
And Michele, let me ask you, you are selected as one of the 50 best women in the state. When you got word, what was your reaction? Tell folks.
To call the Lieutenant Governor to say it was because of her leadership in all economic development activity in the state that we're recognized for our work.
That's why Michele is where she is right now. You know, unemployment is down to 4.5% because of the work that a lot of women do. Sure.
Let's talk about the economic development going on in the state. No, seriously, let's go on about the economic development going on in the state, because that is a big part of the reason why you and Choose New Jersey was recognized. Lieutenant Governor, talk about the economic activity in the state and why you're bullish, the governor's bullish, Michele's bullish on New Jersey.
Well, I don't think enough people are talking about this. I think they talk about things that aren't important to New Jersey. I think what we need to talk about is where we were when I was first elected, 9.8%. We're now at 4.5%. And we're at 4.5%, which is lower than the national average and lower than any other state in our region, even lower than North Carolina. Michele, you tell them why.
Because we're an extraordinary state for business attraction in areas of importance, including life sciences, manufacturing, healthcare, logistics and distribution, and really important high-tech jobs in the state.
Let me shift gears and talk a little about women in leadership, because both of you have accomplished a great deal and you're still doing important things. Some of the keys to being a great leader who happens to be a woman in leadership position, the keys to success are?
Well, I'm going to talk about them in a minute, so I don't want to ruin the surprise. But
That's all right. PBS will hear about it later.
We talked last year about some too. First, you have to get a lot of women together and be your colleagues and your friends. You got to get people around you who are women to support you. That's my first point. The second is that you don't have to play by the rules. I mean, if we played by the rules,
What rules?
The rules, you know, like a sheriff can't be a girl. If I had played by that rule, I never would have been a sheriff, and if I was never the sheriff, I never would have been a lieutenant governor of New Jersey. Those are two. What do you think?
Other, not rules, but advice for women who say they want to be leaders, Michele.
You have to start with competence. And so the only way to get competent is to work really hard in the job that you're at and not to take any shortcuts in learning your trade. Then what you try to do is find extraordinary other women who have like interests to yours and learn from them. And then you really have to develop judgment so that the advice that you use to guide an organization is sound.
The other last thing before I let you go, a thick skin. How important to being a leader who happens to be a woman? Thick skin.
Well, is that another way of saying you're not allowed to cry? Because if that's the case, I'm in a bad...
No. Thick skin, dealing with rejection, dealing with being turned away, and being persistent. That's what I meant.
I don't think it's any different for a man or a woman. I think you have to have thick skin in this environment, whether it's politics and public service, or finding and creating jobs, or fighting for jobs to come to New Jersey. You have to be tenacious, you can't give up, and you have to be thick-skinned. You're not going to win them all.
You agree with Lieutenant Governor?
Always.
And by the way, loyal and consistent is the other good message. I want to congratulations, Michele. Congratulations and thank you for everything you do, Lieutenant Governor.
Steve Adubato, I appreciate it.
We're talking about the 50 best women in New Jersey, according to NJBIZ, a great business publication. And this is a woman I had in the studio a while back, and now we meet her at this event because you're being recognized again. Judith Sheft, who's Associate Vice President, Technology and Enterprise Development at New Jersey Innovation Institute at NJIT. You're recognized again. You can tell we're live here at the event. You're recognized again as a woman leader, one of the top women leaders in the state. What does it take to be recognized?
Well, I think it's important to be able to look at the cluster of activity and work with women across the entire spectrum of activities that we have here in New Jersey. Some of the challenges that we find for women in tech is that overall there's only about 27% women in technology. We need to support them by reaching out across all areas to help them proceed and grow their businesses.
Yeah, we've talked to Judith about this issue before, is that there's a very low number of women in technology. Why do you think that is?
I think some of it is they don't recognize the opportunities. They don't have the support systems to allow them to grow their businesses. And things that we're doing with our business incubation programs and events like this where you can celebrate all of the women together, help them realize that they don't have to be alone, they don't have to be by themselves as they can grow their businesses.
And what does it say when women like this get together? And by the way, what do you say to each other?
What do we say to each other is that we can do it. That you don't have to think that you can't do it. You can break through those glass ceilings and we can accomplish anything that we want to do.
It's a great night, isn't it?
It's phenomenal, phenomenal. I was one of the judges and it was so hard to judge. One person was better than the next in terms of looking at the applications.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
John, I got to ask you, you've worked in state government, a leadership position. You work in one of the top healthcare organizations in the state and the nation. The keys to being a successful leader, whether you're a man or a woman, but particularly for a woman?
I think you've got to have passion, you got to have a lot of drive to the mission, and you got to believe in it every day. And I joined an organization, Barnabas Health, I couldn't be prouder, and I think we believe and drive that mission home every day to be sure that people are getting the health care that they need, where they need it.
Talk about how challenging that is. And you and I have talked offline about the people you serve, the needs they have. What exactly are we talking about, and why is it so important?
It's so challenging because outside of the hospital experience that people have, they've got social issues that they have to contend with every day. So they may have food insecurity, they may have employment that is not steady for them, they may have an unstable housing situation, they may have behavioral health issues, mild, moderate, or severe, that really impact their ability to care well for themselves.
And that takes real leadership to deal with.
It takes leaders, it takes people who take the time to understand what those needs are and not put a Band-Aid solution, pardon the healthcare pun, on the problem. You've really got to find out what works for the communities in which you're working.
Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, best leadership lesson that you can offer, particularly the women watching today who say, I don't think I've reached my potential. I don't think that I'm the leader that I want to be today. Best advice you can give?
Got two. One, work harder than anybody else.
Why do you have to work harder than anybody else?
Man or woman, you've got to work harder. I should show a good example for your team. If I'm asking you to work really hard for the organization, I'm going to be right there alongside with you. The second, you've got to be able to take bad news. You've got to be able to receive bad news. You don't want your team to not tell you things or present problems to you. You want them to come to you so that you can resolve them.
Well said. Congratulations, Jen.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to you.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
We are here with Linnette Shaver-Johnson, who's area president, Central Jersey Wells Fargo, one of the sponsors of this great event tonight. We recognize 50 very prominent women leaders in the state. Why is it so important to the bank to be a part of tonight, to sponsor tonight, and to recognize these women leaders?
Well, first, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate these women tonight. It's such an amazing event. And tonight, one of our own leaders, Theresa Perry, will be honored. So it's an honor to be here. So we're a proud sponsor of this event. It's very important that as a company that we are celebrating the women and all their accomplishments. And I can't wait to hear all their stories tonight.
It's interesting because, you know, I often think about leadership, as many of us do, and ask the question, do women, men manage and lead differently? Do you think there's actually some differences in between women and men when it comes to leadership?
Look at all the women tonight. There are so many women in leadership now. Women are being developed within the companies.
And they have to overcome a lot of challenges.
Absolutely. But again, look around us tonight. These women are out there taking on those challenges and are doing an amazing job leading companies day to day.
And role models for other women who are moving up the ranks and are going to be leaders in their own right pretty soon.
Absolutely. I talk to young women all the time, and I always encourage them, go out there, do what you're passionate about. Certainly, go and find a mentor. Go and talk to women that are in leadership, because there's a lot out there willing to lead the way for them.
Well said. Congratulations. Thank you, Linnette.
Thank you so much.
We're here with Mara Connolly Taft, Executive Vice President, co-founder, Taft and Partners, selected as one of the best 50 women in business by NJBIZ. That's pretty cool.
So cool. This is an awesome night. I'm at the top of my game, as are 49 other women here tonight. It's an awesome event to be sponsored.
By the way, it's pretty tight quarters here. As you can tell, this place is jammed. I got to ask you, you happen to work with our good friend, full disclosure, a board member of ours at the Caucus Educational Corporation, Pete Taft. Working with your husband, doing business together with your husband, any unique challenges there? Or is it all fun?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I have to say, it's not for the meek. If you're married to the best guy in the world, it can work out like a dream. Otherwise, there are always some rocky roads, but at the end of the day, he's got my back, I've got his, and he is my hero.
Best advice for women going into leadership?
Pick something you love, plan it, meet all the people you can, learn all you can, and be consistent and enjoy everything you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
We're here with Celest Quintana, who is an owner-operator at McDonald's, one of the 50 best women in New Jersey. So says NJBIZ, and I'm buying it. It's a big honor for you, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a big honor, and it's an honor to be amongst all these wonderful women with such tremendous accolades. I am honored to be next to them.
As an entrepreneur, as someone who is a leader in that way, what are the keys to being a successful entrepreneur?
Well, the keys is a lot of keys. You have to just have a tremendous support. You have to know what you're doing, and just be real, be true, be honest, and just try. And then if you succeed or if you fail, it's never a failure. It's just always a success. But just believe that you can do it. Other people have done it, and you can do it too.
That's hard work, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
How about people say, I want to work for myself, I want to be my own boss and, quote, make my own hours. You say, why are you making that face? How many hours?
I don't wear a watch, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm used to working 14, 16, 18.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. And that's what most people don't understand, that when you work for yourself, you are the boss. You are the boss, you are the cook, the bottle wash, the Indian chief, you are it.
It's all on you.
Absolutely. And you better be honest about it, and you better be good about it.
That's why you're a great leader. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, terrific women being honored by NJBIZ. Theresa De Leon is being honored from PNC Bank. And this young lady on your left is also a leader at PNC. She is?
Linda Bowden, our regional president for New Jersey, and a great mentor of mine.
And one of the great leaders in the state of New Jersey in the world of business. Linda, I got to ask you, when Theresa got nominated, that's one thing. When she got selected by NJBIZ, how exciting for the bank?
Oh, well, we were thrilled. And this is tonight all about Theresa. But listen, let me tell you, she is a terrific leader. Anyone who works for her will tell you how much they respect her, how much they learn from her. She is a terrific leader in New Jersey. So we were all sort of high-fiving each other. In fact, not only is her boss coming, her boss's boss, who is on the executive committee in Pittsburgh, is coming tonight. That's how highly thought of Theresa is.
Some of the keys to being a successful woman in a leadership position, what would they be?
Well, I think obviously having great role models like Linda is a big benefit for me, but I think being open to change, listening to your people, and being supportive of what they need to accomplish, I think those are the things that make a great leader.
Theresa, any unique challenges you think women face in leadership positions that guys like myself may not face or understand?
Well, not as many as we used to, I think. But we face a lot of the same challenges. I think for the most part, you want to make sure that people accept you for who you are and don't make any preconceived notions about what you can achieve and what you want to do.
Linda, you and I have talked about leadership constantly. Some advice to young women out there who want to be leaders?
You know, I would say get out of your comfort zone, take risks, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Find not only a mentor, but a sponsor who will really help you in your career, and just have some fun.
The Hackensack team is well represented tonight. Bob Garrett, I have to ask you, as the CEO, as the quarterback, this young lady, Maureen Keating, is one of the 50 best women in the state. Why?
Well, first of all, she's number one in my mind.
That's a good, smart move on your part.
Absolutely. You know what? She exemplifies what a woman in business is all about. She's smart. She is thorough. She works with people. She disarms folks and gets deals done. I mean, it's incredible. I've worked with, how long are we working together?
29 years.
Oh,
29.
no, don't say 29 years.
Oh my God.
When you
5 years old, okay, Steve? But no, nothing but respect for her. And you know what? The team is out in full force, and that says a lot about Maureen. Considering how busy we are at Hackensack, the team is out to support her because they believe in her and they think she's terrific, as I do.
And by the way, the reason the lights are going down is because the event is actually starting. Maureen, let me ask you, the keys to being a successful woman in a leadership position, you and I have talked offline about this. Tell folks what the keys are.
Yeah, I think the keys, Steve, are, starting from the top, working for a great organization and getting the leadership buy-in, really being able to build a great team with loyalty, integrity, and really being all in. And we say that a lot, but you really have to have that commitment to excellence.
The bells are tolling. That means the event's about to start. I'm Steve Adubato. More importantly, we're here with Diane Recinos, Senior Vice President, Enrollment Management, Berkeley College. One of the 50 best women in the state of New Jersey, so says NJBIZ, and I think they made a good choice. How excited are you about tonight?
I am so excited. I'm extremely humbled. This is really a magnificent event. I had a great opportunity being a part of Berkeley College for over 24 years, and to be able to share their 85th year anniversary this year with this event just totally is the icing on the cake.
Real quick, let's talk a little bit about the keys to successful women in leadership positions. What are some of the keys to being a success?
I think the biggest thing is leading by example, just rolling up your sleeves, chipping in. Your team sees that. They see the value in you. I would say that's probably one of the biggest things that is valuable.
I'm always curious, as a student of leadership, as someone who's taught it as well, whether women in leadership positions ever think it's more challenging and more difficult for a woman in a leadership position than a man. You say?
I would say that it has been challenging, and you just have to know your place, know your environment, know your audience, and really strive to overcome whatever obstacles you may mentally have in your mind, but just know at the end of the day, you're both equal.
Confidence, how important?
Extremely important, extremely important. And just know that your self-confidence may not always reflect internally the way others feel about you, and it's so important just to keep calm and let the self-confidence be shown on the outside.
The best 50 women in business, so says NJBIZ, and they are right. And two of the women selected from the Barnabas Health System, Jennifer Velez and Mary Ellen Klein, they're part of a pretty successful system. And Michele Davis, I got to ask you, what is about those two women make them particularly special?
Oh my goodness. Both Jennifer Velez and Mary Ellen Klein are absolutely the best of the best, both in the areas that they oversee. And so clearly Jennifer is over community and behavioral health, and then Mary Ellen Klein, as a CEO of one of our hospitals, they exemplify excellent leadership and the focus that is always in the exact right place on patient care.
Michele and I have a lot of conversations about leadership on the air and offline as well. But I want to ask you, as a student of leadership, as a practitioner, as someone who's been honored and recognized for your leadership many times, some of the keys to being a successful woman in a leadership position, A, and B, do you think it's any different for a woman versus a guy?
I think that it's incredibly different for a woman versus a guy.
Really?
Absolutely. I think that the way in which we exemplify our leadership traits tends to be very different. And in fact, it needs to be. I think that for a woman, oftentimes, and Steve, you know this, there's that double standard. A woman can be assertive, and others will call her aggressive, when a man can simply be self-confident, and it's the exact same type of demonstration of character. I think that these two women in particular exemplify the perfect mix. They are both confident and compassionate.
So when it comes to giving women advice, which you often do, and by the way, being a mentor of women is something you do a lot of. If you're giving advice to women right now who want to be in leadership positions, what would you say to them?
I would indicate to them that they should step out there and begin to do it, but first, to exemplify service leadership. I think that there are many individuals who may very well want to be in leadership who don't understand that the very best place to start is really in serving others, and then, Steve, to make it their own. Not to mimic anyone else's style, but to ensure that they are placing at the forefront of whatever their leadership style is going to be, their own authenticity.
We're here with Kimberly Phelan, partner at Witham, Smith & Brown. And the young lady to your left is one of our honorees.
She is. This is Nicole Lyons from our litigation support group, and she is one of our young female energetic partners. I'm just thrilled to have her as an honoree this year.
And when you got word that you were selected, what was your first reaction?
I was so excited. It's so humbling to know that, our group and everybody else in the women community in New Jersey would, I was able to get nominated and get selected. I was so excited.
What are some of the keys to being a successful woman in a leadership position, whether it's in the accounting field or any business field?
One of the main things I think is always looking back and trying to bring people up with you. You can't do this alone, so making sure you always reach down and bring people up with you. Being a good mentor to the young staff, young women's staff, that we have it with them is such a big goal for me and a lot of the women partners that we're.
And your firm really promotes women in leadership positions. I've talked to your boss about that. Bill's been great about that.
Yes, many years ago, in 2000, we started the Women's Leadership Development Initiative, which was a vision I had to look at the women.
What was your vision?
It was my vision to look at the women in our firm and really let them know they had not just a career path, but huge opportunities for success, to become a partner and to achieve just magnificent things at our firm. And I think it's been very successful.
And it's important to gather tonight and celebrate, isn't it?
Absolutely. We actually have a number of our past honorees with us, so we always consider this a huge celebration. It's my favorite night of the year.
Well, congratulations to you, and thank you for everything you do for women in leadership.
It's a pleasure.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, New Jersey Resources, the Northward Center, NJM, and by ShopRite Supermarkets. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.